Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el putín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work.
Break it down, break it down.
No quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
On the ones and twos for you, this is DJ Torch coming straight at you right here. DJ Torch Live and Friends. Here we go. Shout out to Darnell.
I would like
It's
to
our
recite
V.
a poem
Miss
that I
Louis.
wrote for my daughter. I'll try not to cry while I'm doing it. It's about how she saved my life. I dedicate it to all the daughters in the room and those that we have lost to violence. I was wondering what I'd tell you the day you become a woman. The day you no longer need me to tie these pink ribbons in your hair. On that day, I will transform. From the 50-foot tall warrior who slays monsters under your bed and pours paradise into every meal, into this woman that I am. And so I wrote this letter for you. Dear future warriors. Yeah. God was generous the day he blessed me with you. It took 9 months to perfect bliss, and I know there's so much to learn, but I offer you this. Own your body. Let every bend and twist inspire the world. Let all that see recognize, respect, and deserve your deeply feminine curves. You see, I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but remember this. What's in between your hips is just as important as what's in between your lips. Own your anger. Never fear what's left, for you were born with a warrior's soul, with strength as your shield, knowledge as your sword. Even good girls have to fight the revolution. Even good girls have to fight for evolution, and know your life may not be televised, but you will still shine like stars in my eyes. Own your words. Choose them carefully, one by one, like lovers. For a woman is only as good as the word she stands on, and words are only as good as the foundation they are built upon. You see, I know it's hard being born into a fatherless room, conceived in this fatherless womb, but baby, don't make it your tomb. You see, I can't teach you to be a woman like me because I am only half the woman you will ever be, but I can teach you how to love the moon and stars, how to love words like I love you. But you must choose your own words, write your own stories, tell your own truths, and one day you'll have your own stories to share. But for right now, baby, I just want to hold you close and tie these pink ribbons in your hair. Thank you.
All right, kids, once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore pajamas and lived life slow, there was a beat girl and graffiti artist named Cindy Campbell who decided to throw an end of summer party in order to earn extra money for school clothes. Her older brother, Clive, would play the music because people around the way knew him as DJ Kool Herc. Their event, which took place in the recreation room of their apartment building at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the West Bronx, would come to be known widely as the birth of hip hop. The date was August 11th, 1973. Today, in the midst of Black Music Appreciation Month, we're going to talk about rap music and its impact on America. However, we'll focus on Black America specifically because for decades now, there's been an argument that hip hop has a negative effect on us.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers, but we are against those thugs who disgrace our community, our women, who disgrace our culture, and who have absolutely nothing of redemptive value to offer except the legacy of violence and sexual assault and foul language.
Hip hop has done more damage to Black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years.
Notice how he cleaned it up by saying the last 10 years. Actually, he knows that racism did some serious damage back in the day. But there's an argument to make that in the last, I would say the last 20 years, yeah, hip hop has competed quite unfortunately nicely with racism. Let me keep it going.
When you find the youngster, a Puerto Rican from the South Bronx or a Black kid from Harlem who has succeeded in life other than being the 1/10 of 1% that make it in the music business, that's been a success in life, walking around with his pants around his ass.
They don't seem to see any connection between the kind of music which they sell for profit and the kinds of problems we have in American society.
So
I agree.
As you'll see today, if you're going to say that rap music or Black culture in general is the cause of the disproportionate amount of gun violence seen in Black communities, you're going to have to know, one, when rap music began, and two, when proximity crime in impoverished and segregated neighborhoods began. And it would help if you had an appreciation for Black music too. With that in mind, let's get to when did rap music begin? Well, it's not as simple as I made it out to be earlier in this video. There's evidence of Black people rapping before the 70s, but if you did quick math on the date I provided a minute ago, or if you watched the 65th Grammy Awards a few months ago, the Grammy stuff for Black people, then you'll know that 2023 will mark hip hop's unofficially official 50th birthday. See, early on, rap music was mostly about the DJ, like DJ Kool Herc, who I already mentioned, Grandmaster Flash, and Africa Bambaataa. They innovated how to use turntables and were instrumental in getting people together with block parties. Then there was the master of ceremony, the MC. They would be at parties on stage with a mic, encouraging people to dance, giving shout outs, and making announcements. Rhyming evolved from that over time to what we now know as rapping. Real quick, before I continue, the term hip hop was coined by one of hip hop's early pioneers, an MC and a member of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Robert Keith Cowboy Wiggins, in 1978. No relation, though. Speaking of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, in 1982, Sugar Hill Records produced The Message by Melly Mel and the late great Duke Booty.
Now I'll tell you one thing, Rapper's Delight, that was the bop back then.
While the vast majority of rap music that came before this featured beat breaks from James Brown songs, reggae, and dancehall tracks, with some disco influence in order to keep the party going and have a good time, The Message was and is rhythm and poetry's reflection on inner city blues, those living for the city. Seems like it was the first song of its kind. More on this later. We have the answer to our first question, therefore let's get to the second one. When did what's known as Black on Black crime begin? That's a lot more difficult to figure out. Gun crime and violence in Black communities was already a thing before Schoolie D, Ice-T, and NWA pretty much invented gangster rap in the mid to late 80s. It was also a problem before former President Ronald Reagan remixed the war on drugs. Actually, Black on Black crime was a problem before Richard Nixon declared drug abuse public enemy number one on June 17, 1971. We know this because gun crime and violence must have already been such a huge problem in Chicago that the term Black on Black crime was perhaps first put in print to describe what was going on in August 19th, 1970. Hey, if you're keeping score at home, then you already noticed that Black on Black crime, the violence, along with the term used to describe it, were already things before Cindy and Clive Campbell decided to even throw their back to school jam, which should mean rap music is not the cause of crime and violence in Black communities. It isn't. We could end the story right there.
He's right and he's wrong. It might have not been the start of it, but it definitely has been the continuation. It has definitely allowed the violence to be, I don't know, put on steroids. Let's put it that way. Of course, it was still the per se Black on Black crime back then in our neighborhoods, because that's all that was there was Black people, Black on Black crime. But there is nothing that hip hop did to help quell that, but there's a lot that hip hop did to make it worse. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
However,
I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I don't know why I haven't. But the idea that rap music can somehow be the primary cause of crime and violence makes no sense to me. One, because when you say something is a cause of something else, there's a presumption of chronology. And what do I mean by that? You're basically stating that this existed before and independently of that.
Oh, not necessarily, no. No. Nobody said that hip hop invented Black on Black crime. We're saying that it's allowing crime to flourish. That's what we're saying. Not hip hop, the music itself, but the culture it builds around it.
When you take that alone into account, the original claim doesn't make any sense. Because it's not like Atlanta was all sunshine and rainbows and then 21 Savage came out and said, I'm gonna wet your mama house and wet your grandma house and keep shooting. And then all of a sudden Atlanta started getting dangerous. Like that's not how things work. So let's say you didn't mean to say cause, but rather exacerbate. So rap and drill music makes these problems like violence and crime worse.
Exactly. And really it doesn't have, the thing is that basically everyone knows that it does not, that it didn't invent crime. But it definitely does exacerbates, and I don't know what intellectual excuse he's going to use, but let's listen to him. Let's see.
Worse. That's your new claim. Okay. Now you're starting to eat. I still got a rebuttal for you, though. Let's talk about what art means fundamentally. It's a general definition, but art is
Oh,
essentially.
now see, that's where he lost me. Okay. Basically it's like this. I knew he was going to pull the art ticket out or the art card out. Okay. Then he's going to say, well, everybody has this kind of art and in movies and this and that or whatever. By the way, I have not even seen this. Basically the problem is this. It's the artists, not the art. Here we go.
I'm gonna use 4 E's here. The expression of environment, emotions, and experiences. So if you want artists to remove violence out of their expression, you have to remove the violence out of their environment, emotion, and you see how I'm getting here? Art is a
No, we don't. It's not working on me. It's not working. We know. Okay, it's like this. Let's go ahead and name the artists that die most in gun violence. You guessed it, by far. Like basically paling in comparison. There is no other form of music except for hip hop and rap that the artists are deleted as much. And we have a brand new unfortunate, update on that too. Let me see what else you had to say.
mirror, and it's reflecting a violent city. People walk up to the mirror, see its reflection, and then some may walk away being more violent. You could turn the mirror to prevent that from happening and show something else. But what about the violence?
So he's just gaslighting. So I'm going to move on. Remember this?
Do you think that this will essentially, him being sentenced, will undo all the work that he's done to repair his mental state?
Watch this work. Watch this work at the bottom here.
It's only going to put him in a worse state of mind because the system has failed him, and that's how he feels. That's how he feels that since the system fails him, so he's going to come out with that mentality and go forward in life, knowing that he has pleaded everything that he can, and being in a better place is different.
See, this is the problem I have with what you said. She said, see, he completed everything that he can. Well, then, I mean, there's a point where you have to say, is he more important than the community he comes from, or the location, or the people that he's damaged in the past? And then that's the problem I have with his sister's commentary, because really she should be saying, I just want him to get the best help he can, no matter where he is, so he can live at least a better life than he's living now. See, for some reason, and it's in the manosphere too, where for some reason they feel it's a man's right to destroy other people's lives, including other men, to be men. Guess what? Who's in jail now? Oh, and he happens to be artist.
I told you I was coming here. Whack. Fucking whack. Well, yeah. That whack. He's taking care of business. Handling some mandatory issues, man. I see you on the other side.
Mandatory issues. He's being arrested. He's getting booked. He's going to take a mugshot. That's what's going down. Welcome, Gold Reflection. Miss RV, Darnell Elliott, Tevin the Lifestyle Guy, Mr. Snoopy. Here we go. So basically, as you see, Blueface got arrested, ... again, showing what a great role model he is. I wonder if that young kid, the one I had in the prior clip, would like to explain this. I wonder what percentage of rappers have been incarcerated. Okay, that's not on rappers. Okay, let me get back to it. Here we go.
Only a real player will go to jail looking like he's gonna go to the Himalayas.
A real player wouldn't even go to jail. They wouldn't have to go to jail. That's the problem. He's basking in his criminality. That's crazy.
Good luck, man.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nasho, and welcome to Coolin TV. So Blueface had to turn himself in this morning. Last month, man, that whole thing that happened in the club where him and Jaden was a fan that got stomped out. Blueface was allegedly telling other people to get her and stuff like that. And I guess she pressed charges and they got Blueface a violation of
Notice how he makes it sound like it shouldn't be happening.
probation. So he had to turn himself in this morning, but that ain't stop him or get him down, man. He went in there looking fresh, looked like he was walking to a damn fashion show instead of jail. He had the red fit on, man. You know, he was in good spirits. So it looked like this ain't bother him. He went in with his lawyer. Lawyer probably got the boxing gloves on, about to beat the case. You know, Blueface still in good spirits. Who knows what's going to happen with this case, but I'm going to keep y'all updated. Wack 100 went on his Instagram and he posted free Blueface already. So, and you know Wack 100 behind Blueface. So they probably got a good lawyer team, good attorneys, you know, and they probably gonna get up out of this. But we're gonna see how it turns out. Y'all let me know what.
See? I wouldn't be surprised if Blueface jumps the judge if you don't hear what he wants to hear. Listen to this.
People on social media have been wondering why Blueface and Chrisean have been so quiet lately. And Blueface mama Carlissa told us that Blueface turned himself in. Then you guys know he had a situation in Las Vegas and he was on probation and he violated probation. So now he's going to serve.
Let me tell you something. Las Vegas don't play, and I don't blame them. You saw what happened to the Las Vegas judge, so I'm like, yeah, do what you got to do.
To a year in jail or prison, whichever one. Carlissa posted to her Instagram story and said, Jaden got him one charge, Rock got him the one that he violated the other. That's why it's so quiet. Praying everyone now understands why I didn't want them together, because parents want the best for their children. I love them all, but not together. Praying for everyone to listen to their parents. And she also said, my baby is in jail and my heart is broken again because they don't listen. Blueface mom also commented in the comment section and said he is taking accountability because he turned himself in. Now he needs to sit there thinking about the next set of company he keeps. Getting out and surrounding yourself with temptation you couldn't handle prior to will only get you in trouble again. Now,
yeah, that's funny because I never see anybody get on, Blueface's mom, even though we all know he's a mess, but the red pill dudes don't touch her. That's because they love the Mannies. Here we go.
One person in the comment section added Carlissa and said those ladies didn't give him those charges. He did it himself. He violated his probation and not the women. Black moms need to start holding their black sons accountable.
Ours.
Carlissa responding to say he turned himself in. Which part did you miss, the account or the ability? And
no, that's not accountability. That's just what he has to. If he didn't have to go in, if he did not have, see, this is the funny part. Turning himself in, he can't hide from the law forever, especially if you still want to make records. He had to go in. It wasn't like he did it on his own volition. Otherwise, he would have done it earlier. But he didn't. He did it when he had to, not when he needed to. Or could have.
Then there's a video posted of Blueface turning himself in.
Fucking whack. Well, yeah. That whack. He's taking care of it. Handling some mandatory issues, man. I see you on the other side. Only a real player will go to jail looking like he's gonna go to the Himalayas. Good luck, man.
Now, of course, Chrisean was summoned out of nowhere and she tweeted some storm clouds with the broken heart emoji. Now, a lot of people in the comment section was saying that Chrisean couldn't wait for this day. Now, y'all know Krishan did not want that man to go to jail or prison. I mean, when he beat up her friend and she left her friend on the side of the road so he wouldn't go to jail then. But I mean, we all know that she's heartbroken because y'all know she is deeply, madly in love with Blueface. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on Blueface possibly going to jail or prison for a whole year for violating probation. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions.
See, he can't even, I mean, so, okay, that's not a good role model. How about this guy? How about this guy right here? How about this guy right here?
Comes to develop that there's an institutional bias, prejudice, and advance this case.
The Wine v. Melly murder trial had an intense motion hearing today. They discussed motions that involve throwing out the state attorney's office from the case. Melly's lawyer says that the state attorney's office want to win at all costs, even if it means lying because the case is high profile. They're quoted saying the state attorney's office has an institutional bias and prejudice towards Melly that demands for this case to be dismissed. The judge also responds to the motion to suppress situation where the state asked him to reconsider everything in my last video, and you're going to see what happens with that. A lot's going on in this video. The audio is terrible. I took a shower halfway through. Sorry. Hit subscribe. Here we go. All right, so we got defendant's response to state's motion for rehearing, reconsideration, and clarification right here. Defendant files this response in opposition to and requests to deny the state's motion for rehearing, reconsideration, blah, blah, blah. However, nothing here should be considered as the defendant waiving any future appellate rights or even agreeing with all the court's rulings. The defendant filed 13 motions to suppress and believes that each one should have been granted in totality and that all evidence seized under a search warrant should have been suppressed. Okay. The state says before the trial court considers the merits of a Fourth Amendment motion to suppress, the defendant must first establish a factual basis justifying his or her claim to have possessed Fourth Amendment right at the time.
Bars, Gold Reflection breaks it down like this. This is about Blueface. He even proves it by saying mandatory issues. Exactly. If it wasn't a mandate, he wouldn't be there. Exactly.
The alleged invasion. A more recent case would have required the state to have raised and preserved the issue of standing at the time of the motion to suppress, not 9 days after this court ruled. The defendant notes that the state relies on no Florida cases or even 11th Circuit cases to limitation of scope from service. Rather, the state apparently wishes that it was in Colorado or Kansas, as it heavily relies upon 10th Circuit federal law. Melly's team is trolling these boys right here. The state never raised the issue of independent source prior to their motion for rehearing. It is not mentioned in their omnibus response to the motion to suppress, nor was it raised at the time of the hearings. It was abandoned by the state as they produced no testimony.
And long story short, basically, why Melly's got some problem here. He's got some huge issues.
Evidence that any information that they received from any of the search warrants they executed have been gained through an independent source. The state argues inevitably discovery and independent source as if they are one concept. They are closely related but are different concepts of law. All right, for the motion to suppress on the iCloud, let's see what Melly's team has to say about what the state said. So remember, this is a response from Melly's team to the state saying that the court got it all wrong. A lot's going on here. The state again raises the standing issue. They wrote, because the defendant was not forthcoming or whether or not he was still proceeding with the strategy of claiming the film was not his, the state proceeded with the argument as if he had standing at the time. However, standing was addressed in the initial response filed by the state and briefly addressed during the argument on November 21st. The state later indicates it raised the issue of standing. If the defense was not forthcoming whether or not he was still proceeding with the strategy with claiming the film was not his, then why would the state proceed with the argument as if he did have standing? This is such a clusterfuck, dude. The state is acknowledging they have waived the issue of standing, proceeding on as if the defendant did have standing. I mean, this is like almost riddles, bro. Now they're quoting the state right here saying, standing was addressed in the initial response filed by the state and briefly addressed during the argument. It is not a correct recitation of the record. Standing was not addressed as to the phone in this motion and the state's omnibus response. The state never contested standing in this matter, as it was way more than obvious that the defendant did and does have standing. The defendant introduced the affidavit for search warrant, which was sworn to and admitted into evidence without any objection. And the affidavit Moretti states the following.
Okay, I guess what we're saying is this, is that Melly's in trouble. Melly's in big trouble. Another rapper. Let's go over to this right here.
Get you back to that story we told you about off the top of the broadcast, a deadly shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live tonight from St. Francis.
Here's my thing. She's pretty, by the way. I guess people are relying on saying that all these, these deletions in the community and these, when you think about it like this, it's not a coincidence that the artists who pass away the most from lead poisoning happen to be in the hip hop / rap industry. and obviously the collateral damage that goes with them. They have been the problem is that it's, let's say it's not really rap in itself that is causing the issue, but it definitely is the artists. Okay. And their lifestyle, because believe it or not, rap artists live a different lifestyle, especially when they're just starting out, other than just rap. And unfortunately, that lifestyle is not a good lifestyle at all. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, this you know, no. Let's just you know, let's just have it said that they don't live a wholesome life. And unfortunately, the majority of them end up like this poor guy. Not much, I mean, not this far, but they end up in this situation where you might end up in this situation.
Hospital. That's where the victims were taken. Lakia, what were you able to find out? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Daniel. Well, at least 5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti. Now, we were at that scene earlier tonight. Police say 2 men were shot outside Perion's restaurant and event center around 4:15. Now, that's on Winchester near Kirby. According to the Memphis Police Department, the victim was inside a vehicle at the time and was brought here to St. Francis Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. Now, I'm also learning there was a second person who was shot and was also taken to the hospital. It has not been confirmed who the second person is, but we do know it is a man, and he was airlifted to Regional 1 in critical condition. Now, the Memphis Police Department spoke with us today in a press conference. Let's listen.
Right now, we do have video that we're analyzing, but we don't have a clear suspect identified at this time. But we know that a weapon was used, a firearm was used in this incident. We do feel like the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect.
Okay, there we go. Big Jook, rest in peace. Oh man, I mean, all these people falling down. Oh, what do they have in common? They're all rappers. Oh, this is a tragedy as well. Handsome Aaron Bullitt can't even, you know.
For my big brother.
And another one.
For my big brother.
And another
We
one.
ain't trying to talk. Oh, boy. We gonna get it crack. We gonna walk the nigga down straight.
He told somebody where he was at, and then clack, clack, clack. That's crazy. This is sad.
Cover for you on this Monday. Investigations are underway after 2 shooting incidents near the Cook County Jail over the weekend.
WGN's Brona Tumulty joins us now live with details. Hi, Brona.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, the first of those shootings happened on Saturday evening just before 9. A man named Lundre Sylvester was leaving the jail. He went by the rap name KTS Dre. He'd just been bailed out, and police say he was ambushed by 2 men who got out of a vehicle near the jail. Sylvester was shot as many as 64 times and pronounced dead at Mount Sinai. A 60-year-old woman who was with him was shot in the knee and taken to Stroger. A second woman in her 30s was standing nearby when that chaos broke out. She suffered a graze wound to the face. She was taken to Mount Sinai as well, and both women were in good condition at last check.
So let me ask you this. So what's that? The myth is that the men in our community provide protection, but I don't see much protecting going on here. So we know there's no provision going on because we made that clear on yesterday's live stream. 64 times, yeah. That's, man.
Bullets started flying again, though, outside the jail early this morning, just after midnight. That incident left a 25-year-old man injured. With 2 incidents in as many days, we asked the mayor today if security here needs to be stepped up.
Well, first of all, I don't control the jail or 26th Street, but obviously we're in conversation with the sheriff and his team. We're concerned about shootings anywhere across the city. And of course, we're very focused on what happened there. And detectives are actively at work identifying suspects, and hopefully we'll have some arrests soon.
Yeah. So where is this protection and provision that the Manosphere promotes for Black women? I mean, I don't see it. I don't see where are they going to get it from. Check this out. You know something? No, we've seen enough of that. We've seen enough. Let's get to the ladies. We're going to get to the lady rappers. Now, so the thing is this. My argument is this. Rap is clearly the most violent form of the most violent related genre on earth. And you can't say in any way, shape, or form that is helping the community. It helps those people who are making money off of it, and that's it. And the people who are making the most money, they don't even live in the Black community. Hold on 1 second. Let me tune it up a little bit, get the sound right. All right. Let's get into some sexy red. Here we go.
What's your DMs looking like right now?
My DMs, they crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even check them no more. At first, I used to be able to sit there and check them, but now it be too much. I be like, man, I let my peoples help look through it, you know, and tell me what's going on sometimes.
What kind of people are in your DMs? Is it athletes? Is it rappers?
It's some of everybody, literally some of everybody. You know, I don't know if you know, but I attract everybody because, like, I don't know, I guess I'm a relatable person. Everybody, you know, all genres can relate to me.
Has there been anybody in your DMs where you was like, wow, what is this nigga doing in my DM?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do you respond?
Yeah.
What you say?
Sometimes they don't even like be on some like trying to flirt. It ain't gotta be on no flirting shit. It could just be like, wow, like this person recognize you or this person know me. You know, it could be some shit like that. But I don't know, I be on some cool shit. I play shit cool.
Do you think like dudes be trying to shoot at you because they think like, you know how your pictures are bending over and you be, you know, your rap lyrics, they probably think you're like easy or a thought. Like, how do you react to that? Like,
easy or a thought? I'm hollering. I don't care. I don't care what nobody think. I don't know. I don't care what they write me for. If I want to talk to you, and you know, it's gonna be up to me at the end of the day. So
yeah,
I don't mind.
What do you like when it comes to being and you went off on me.
Let me pause it right there. So he's trying to bait her. It's very interesting to see this happening. Like to get some shout outs out of the way. Phoenix Soul is in the house. Mystic Moon is in the house. We have New Diamond in the house. Mistress Newbie. We have Miss RV in the house. We got everybody up in here. Who else is here? Darnell is probably in the clouds. Let's get this going. If you in the house, you in the chat, let us know.
When I asked you this last time, but I want to ask you again.
Wait.
Because I was asking you, I was like, is the sexy red
brown in the house
that we see online, you know, the wild, crazy, like are like is that an act? Is that in character? Like being like fast or ratchet or some people think it's hoish or a thought. Is that a character? character, or is that really you?
I just say I'm being me. I'm grown. Why do I gotta hide what I want to do? I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it when people say I'm acting a certain way or I'm.
Oh man, I hope I wasn't on mute for too long. Basically, I want to say a shout out to Enlightened Femme, Mrs. Newbie, K Brown, Mystic Moon, Phoenix Soul, Miss RV, New Diamond. We got everybody up in here. Tevin, Gold Reflection, Darnell, everybody's up in here. We are going to have a party. Here we go. Now, see the problem I have here. Let me go back to this video. Why is the guy asking her so much about whether her lyrics, she lives her lyrics over and over again? I can tell the guy's a misogynist, but let's keep it going. Here we go.
I'm being myself. Like what? All I know is to be me. You know. So I don't know how to be no other way. They be saying what you saying, but I'm saying I'm being a hoe because I'm being myself. That's being a hoe. Like, what's your definition of hoe? What do I do? What do I do that
I
make
want to
me a
ask you
hoe?
that. What's the definition of being a hoe? How many dudes do you have to be fucking at a time to be a hoe?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What's your definition of hoe? Because what makes me a hoe? What did I do? I ain't do nothing. I just be chilling. Y'all don't even know. But shit, I guess the definition of hoe shit, just fucking. You just on a rampage. Just fucking outside, you know. Or you could be fucking multiple people at once. That's being a hoe.
Do you mess with multiple
Well,
people
in that case, then most men are hoes. Right?
at one time?
Nah, I don't do that. That'd be too much. Too much
I mean,
drama. I ain't got time to be talking like trying to keep up with two niggas or more than two niggas. Shit, I ain't got time for shit like that.
Yeah.
That's too much. I tried to act like I was doing it one day and was texting motherfuckers, but I'm like, this shit lame. I ain't got time. I don't even be texting motherfuckers back.
Do you think every woman goes through a hoe phase?
Mm-hmm.
You already went through yours?
She laughing. You said what?
Have you already went through your hoe phase?
See, this dude is ridiculous because why is he so concerned with what a woman does with her sexuality? Like he's trying to make it sound like it's something men don't do. Remember now when I showed you the chart that showed you that brothers are the most promiscuous animal in the United States, more than any other male. So what is he trying to do? It's like a prostitute trying to tell a regular woman, "Wow, you know, you're really too loose." That's what it's basically like. And the second most promiscuous animal is Caucasian men. A close second, by the way. Way down the list, 1/3 of both of those men is black women. 1/3. Beat substantially by Caucasian women. As far as the thoughtness is concerned, I thought I'd just say that. I'm not saying it to diss anybody, but what I'm saying is that if you're spending all your time disrespecting somebody else because you're calling them a 304, well, you better want to look in the mirror first. Fellas, you know it's true too. Kevin Samuels was banging 6 women. At least he claimed he was. So he's perfect proof. He's your hero, right? He said he had a rotation of 6 women on 1099s. Gold reflection, these man's whole life is a whole phase. Basically, let's keep it going.
Yeah, I did.
Like what is that like? Is that like a 6-month period where you're just fucking every guy you're attracted to?
Type shit. Or you just like living. Like, it ain't even got to be like back to back or month to month. It's like, say, shit, this month you meet a nigga, y'all click, you know, y'all talking for a little second, then you know you fuck him. And then the next month or 3 months down the line after that, you meet a new nigga. You know, that's just how life
Yeah.
goes. That's life.
So that was really interesting to me because really, dudes would do a lot more than that. Here we go. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about. So this is from the Black Non-Democrat. He says, Sexy Red is an industry plant to destroy the Black community. This is the funny part about this. So what was all that other shit before? You mean to tell me that the Black community isn't destroyed yet? That's funny to me that he even said that. Just reading his description, let me make sure you can see it. Just reading his description is a joke. It says right there, Sexy Red is an industry plant to destroy the Black community. Nigga, have you been looking around? The Black community has been crumbling since the 90s. Dutch, go back. You could probably argue even before then, but it definitely was crumbling in the 90s. And here's the funny part. Sexy Red music is produced by men. Let me repeat. Sexy Red's music is produced by men. It is sold by men. She gets a check written from men. That's how it's going down. New Diamond breaks it down just like this. Rap as a genre began at block parties in New York City in the early 1970s when DJs began isolating the percussion breaks of funk, soul, and disco songs and extending them. Bars. Enlightened Femme says this, she is a result of patriarchy and capitalism. Bars. Mystic Moon, I agree with that. She just doesn't care. She's getting money for doing what she would normally do. Bars. She may be a plant, Mystic Moon. She may be a plant, but it's her and everybody else. Bars. You could say exactly. You could really say, okay, well, NWA was an industry plant. You definitely could say Blueface is an industry plant. YMG Melly, all of the artists who do drill music as industry, you see what I'm saying? So what's up to destroy that's the funny part, to destroy the Black community. All those men, did you know how many women is in hip hop? 13%. The rest is all men. Might be less than that. it's this really, quite honestly, this is an extension of what we were going over last night. Brothers making excuses for failure. If they didn't, I mean, think about it. She is surrounded by men. Men hire her. Men pay her. Men produce her music. Men write a lot of her lyrics. Men accept her lyrics. Men then promote her. Men then hire her to make to feature in concerts. Men hire her to do concerts. Hip hop, 90% men. Hip hop, 95% man controlled. But they want to blame her. Now when a woman is on stage, now they got a problem. All that shooting that was going on before, all that OPP back in the day, and the misogynist music, and saying, calling women's by B's and H's all the time. Oh yeah, that wasn't a problem. That's not the problem there. But yeah, all of a sudden, when you think about it, any of the Black female artists get any kind of notoriety, they're straight up HOEs. If there's ever an occupation that's controlled by men, it's hip hop. She's writing those freaky songs because she knows men love those freaky songs. She's not writing them because it's just like, she's writing and that's the funny part, is that if she is an industry plant, right, then that makes it even more so that it's controlled by men. Because if she's an industry plant, then she's planted in the industry to write this crap. And what she doesn't write, a man writes it. So if you want to see her going hallelujah, Jesus, or writing wholesome raps, I tell you what, don't buy her shit. And don't buy all those other dudes' shit either that's talking about shooting and sex and all that kind of stuff. Don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Don't play it. Don't stream it, because that's like buying it. That's what's going down. And yeah, and Hibiscus Daphne says she isn't writing those freaky songs for the sakes of women's empowerment. That's if she wrote it herself. Some big dude wrote Pound Town. It wasn't her. Wait, no, she collabed on that. But that dude, the dude was in the writing of it. A dude writing for a woman. He probably wants to go to Pound Town. That's what it was. Let me bring that up. Let me bring that up. Who wrote Pound Town? Told you. I told you. I told you. He wrote Pound Town. Tay Keith. Credit Prince Williams. A dude. There's your industry plant right there. He wrote Pound Town. Heavy set dude. Told you. Tay Keith. He wrote it. There's Mr. Pound Town right there. There is Mr. Pound Town. Welcome, Rika Reed Gaming. He wrote it. So fellas dropping off. They're dropping off because I made that point pretty good. They didn't like that stuff. They didn't like it. Didn't like the fact that I just outed the industry. The industry plants. It's not the industry plant that's the problem. It's the people behind the plant that's a problem. He wrote Pound Town, dude, not Sexy Red. JG Music says, only a crooked dude would refer to sex with women as pound. Yeah. He could lose a few pounds too. You know, he could do with losing a few pounds himself. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
I said to myself that I was not going to do any more videos about Sexy Red, the ratchet rapper that BET is now propping up.
So all those rappers weren't ratchet, right? All those rappers back in the 90s and 80s and 90s, mostly in the 90s, you know, rapping about multiple sex partners. That wasn't ratchet enough for you, huh, Dutch? That wasn't ratchet enough. But now this woman right here, now she's ratchet. Now all those other dudes who shooting each other and talking about having harems of women to have sex with, including Kevin Samuels, that's not ratchet at all. That's not the ratchet part. That is really weird. That is really weird. And that's the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of hip hop. Hypocrisy. That's what's going down. That is what's going down. Let me keep it going. Let me keep it going. I don't even want to play any more of him.
Like everything that hip hop promotes, besides Ye and besides a few, like
and remember now, you're listening to a guy who admits and is revels in being a male HOE. Let me keep playing.
Christian rap or stuff like that. It's all just drugs, murder. And we all know that when they talk about we need to protect black culture, this is the number one. This is how you prove that black culture in America promotes degeneracy. Because when a black person becomes more affluent, when they put on a suit, when they get a good job, when they speak correctly, you're speaking white. Yo, why are you talking like a white boy? I'm just speaking English properly. When they talk about keeping black culture black in those affluent areas, like as a lawyer, as a doctor, they mean they want a doctor who's also sagging. They want a doctor who's still banging and throwing up signs. What do they promote that's positive? Besides, like in some of their interviews, you listen to like Polo G, for example. He'll go in an interview. I'm like, yeah, man.
It's funny because I'm showing you delusion at work at the same time. Believe it or not, his message was pretty, was was pretty on point. I mean, his message wasn't bad. The problem is that he's a hoe. That's the problem. That is the problem.
You cannot convince me otherwise that Sexy Red is not an industry plant that was put here to help finalize the destroying of the black woman image. They was already had us under attack, and she was here to just finalize the process.
Now, this is my thing. I love this. I love this. She's a great, she is a great and amazing content creator. But this thing about it's women destroying the reputation of women, that men have been doing that a long time. That's what's been going on. Let's keep it going.
The way they trying to force her on us is just crazy. Like, I wanted to go see Drake, but once I found out Drake had her opening for him, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Am I going to support?
Drake's a hoe too, though. He's a ho-ho. A ho-ho. You know, Rico Gaming breaks it down like this. Just saw a video of a woman confronting her husband after seeing text messages from his friend Eric calling him babe and boo. Wow. And the way her husband didn't look her in the eyes was everything. Damn, I got to dig that up. I got to see that video. Here we go.
Or anything that thing is behind. I'm not supporting it, right? This is the reason why it's time to separate. It's time to separate as black women, because ain't no way I'm about to be associated with that and Suki Stankiana. Ain't no way.
I understand that. So Hustle Mexico says, I guess it takes one to know one, right? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, you're gonna have to leave a reference. I don't know what you're talking about, but here we go.
Ain't no way. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel. At this point, separation has to happen. It's one thing to make trashy music. That is a different level of trash. That's a different level of trash. Kaya's My Neck, My Back, it was bad. Trina and Trick Daddy's You Know Nan, it was bad. But that's a different level of dirty stank music, right? It's just
no, it's just really an evolution of where the music was going anyway. And the funny thing is this, is that again, she didn't write the lyrics. She didn't write those lyrics. Nobody seems to be getting it. She didn't write it. It was this dude right here. This dude wrote the whole music. He wrote the whole music. He wrote it. He was telling you what he wants to do. He wants to go to Pound Town. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have a lot of time. No. But a lot of rappers don't have talent. But the industry has lowered the bar for talent. You don't really, as long as you have a following, you're set to go. So he wrote Pound Town. So you need to, fellas, if you don't like Sexy Red, you need to talk to this guy. You need to go ahead and tell him, look, we need cleaner lyrics. Have her talk about her hair, a visit to a hair shop or something. Have her talk about, keeping in shape. Have her talk about being fit, friendly, feminine, and submissive. That's what's going down. Because he wrote Pound Town. Don't make me go back on this again. Damn. Here we go.
A different level. Like, it ain't never been that bad. There is lyrically nothing that this woman is saying. She's just saying a bunch of vulgar, disgusting, nasty stuff. It's not even music.
It's not even hers. She didn't write it. I understand what you're saying, but she didn't write it. I'm trying to get this in our minds. She did not write it. It was a dude. That's why it's so nasty. A dude wrote it. This is the dude who wrote Pound Town. Can we get it in our minds? He wrote Pound Town. You can't call her an industry plant and then blame her for the music. Hustler says this: music from 20 years ago had way more flair and entertainment value compared to today's garbage. Bars. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Here we go.
And this is why I noticed she's an industry plant. It is not music at this point, right? It's just it's just seeing how much nasty, vulgar stuff she can come up with out of her mouth, and how disgusting and distasteful.
But the problem is that we've been having industry plants around for the longest. They've been around a long time. Really, you could actually argue Diana Ross was an industry plant. I mean, a much less harmless industry plant, but still, you could say that because she was put in that position. Beyonce, by argument, could be an industry plant as well. She was put in that position. Aaliyah, put in that position.
She could present herself in public to help destroy the Black woman image, right? Trying to portray it as if we all Pookeishas. And if you don't think that this is successful, just look at what hip hop and stuff did to Black men and how it had people stereotyping Black men as criminals and thugs, right?
The problem is that that's exactly what that. There you go. There you go. But the problem is that when you do things to reinforce it, there you go. We don't have to be. Hip hop does not have to be the number one. I remember. Let's put it this way: hip hop does not need to be the number one form of music we listen to in our. Let's not say communities, in our culture, because I mean, a lot of people say there's really no community, and so I'm going to start using culture. It doesn't have to be that way. Mystic Mood. Pound Town sounds like man-on-man action. It does. Let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up. Here we go.
Even to this day, Black men are still fighting to get away from that stereotype.
The problem is they're doing a they're doing a good job reinforcing it. As you saw earlier in the first half of this live stream, I went over all those, mishappenings, if you know what I mean. All the men that lost their lives battling back and forth, and they're expecting more to happen. Went over, the guys I went over so far are this. First of all, let me tell you what I've done so far today. I had a young lady who said a beautiful poem who was deleted by someone who was in the movie 8 Mile, a rapper. Okay. Then we went into Court TV, little excerpt on a system failed him. Now the problem is that the system is what it is. If I go out and I play a soccer game and the field is wet, muddy, and the grass is red and it's raining, I'm still playing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm still going to play the game. If there's something to be won, I'm on the field. What's happening in society is that we're not doing that. We're not getting on that muddy field, against a biased ref and fighting it out and winning the only way we can win by putting that ball in the net. Now you might have your own analogy, but mine is soccer. So my thing was this: we're gonna go to some. I remember one time going to some town that was not nice to people of colors. Let's put it that way. They all biased. Judge, the ref was biased and everything. Field was in terrible shape. It was all muddy, but they wanted it like that because it slowed down our team because we were fast. Okay. We still won 4-2. That's how you got to roll. They did score 2 points though, but we scored 4. That's how it is. That's how it is in life. And it seems like for some reason we don't want to put in that work. We don't want to put in that work, fellas, and that's the problem we have. Hustler Muska, the guy who wrote Pound Town, needs to get his A whooped. That song is tacky and trashy. Bars. The thing is, Hustler Musker, that's basically all of hip hop. That's basically all of hip hop. And it's controlled by, guess who? Men. We need to talk to them dudes. We need to talk to the shot callers. We need to talk to the shot callers. That's who we need to talk to. Don't forget about Sexy Red, because she has a team of men that write all her music. Okay? In an industry filled with men. There are men, like I said before, there are men writing her checks. Okay? There are men writing her checks. There are men booking her. There are men promoting her. So we have to you can get mad at Sexy Red, but we got to take the L with her if we don't like her music. How did this platform become so that it is now today, that you can write a song like they did and it be a hit? That's the question. That's the question. Let me keep it going. So just in case you missed it, this is what happened, Big Jook.
Get you back to that story we told you about off the top of the broadcast, a deadly shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live tonight from St. Francis Hospital. That's where the victims were taken. Lakia, what were you able to find out? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Daniel. Well, at least 5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti. Now, we were at that scene earlier tonight. Police say 2 men were shot outside Perion's restaurant and event center around 4:15. Now, that's on Winchester near Kirby. According to the Memphis Police Department, the victim was inside a vehicle at the time and was brought here to St. Francis Hospital.
So why aren't we solving this problem? Why isn't this problem being addressed? This is not cool. This is not cool at all. This is not cool at all. Miss RV breaks it down like this. Ice Cube and Too Short had a song called Ain't Nothing Word, where they call women bees and talk about sexuality exploiting women. Yeah, and that was way back then. Shoot, Too Short's about my age. Damn near. I mean, very close. Yep. Way back then. Yep. Then Mr. Moon says this, Miss RV, it's 98% of the rappers. As in, I don't know why They waited till Sexy Red came out to be offended. Bars. Exactly my point. Bars right there. That's my point. It's like, wait a minute. You guys missed all the 19 or really 30 years of other shit that was been going on. And now you got a problem? Shoot, at least, I mean, man, it's just crazy to me. And now we got this.
Calling all Black women of the congregation.
I like B. Taylor. She sounds okay. Here we go.
Come to the front of the congregation, all Black women. We need a meeting. We need an emergency meeting, okay? This is getting out of control. But before we get into things, I am B. Taylor TV, and welcome back to my channel. And today, we are going to be talking about Sexy Red and Sukihana and how we need to just straight up cancel them, okay? I don't try to stop anyone's bag. I don't try to put another woman down.
Don't B. Taylor. Don't worry at all. You're not canceling her bag. Believe it or not, both of them, if they stop making music today, would be fine. The problem is that it's the dudes that are writing their music that need to be canceled. You can cancel these two girls. They're going to find 2 more. They're going to find 4 more. It's the nature of the industry, nature of the beast. We know she doesn't have talent. Thank God she doesn't. Thank God they don't have talent, because if they had talent, then they'd be even more convincing.
But what we're not going to do is let these women be the representation of all Black women. Black women, we need to understand something. Our reputation is important. The way we are presented to the world is important. And it seems like we are the only ones in the community that are allowing the bottom tier of our community to be the forefront of the representation of Black women. What happened where our great grandmothers and our grandmothers
representation, unless, I mean, this is when you see that, okay, you have this in music, right? We have this in music. Okay. If really, quite honestly, I think what B. Taylor is thinking that if you remove these women, then a woman's reputation would be restored. But the problem is that it's the men that are producing this. And it's also the consumers that are listening to this and watching this that is the problem. And the only way to fight that is basically the core mentality of the community. I'm sorry, my bad. The culture is the issue. That's the problem. That is the problem. So what are we going to do? You can look at this person, these women here, and blame them. You can cancel them all you want. The problem is that somebody else is just going to step up and take their place. Because there is a network. These young ladies are a representative of a network of ratchetness. The men taught the women the ratchetness, believe it or not. This goes deeper than just these 2 ladies. Exactly. Let me break this down. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. Exactly. These rappers have been talking about disgusting depravity. That should get them locked up. Now, Sexy Red is offensive. Exactly. They are all trash. All of them. Right. How are we that's my problem, is like, how are we pointing out these women when we got all these other dudes talking about D swinging and everything, and hell, again, I reiterate this. Old man Kevin Samuels had no problem bragging about his rotation of 6 women. That's more sexual partners than Sexy Red had. She might promote that, but she makes it clear. I mean, she makes it clear that's not how she moves. She doesn't move with 6 dudes a night and stuff. Dude asked her out, do you have orgies? Ignorantly asked her, do you have orgies? She was like, and you could just tell by her expression, like, what do you, that just shows you. That's crazy. Here we go.
And great grandmothers understood the protection of image. And it seems like we are forgetting that we are letting the ones who are the superstars, the artists, the entertainers, the actors, or whatever, be the representation, and they don't put us in the best light.
I agree, 150%.
See, when you look at other communities, and I'll just use the white community, they have a broad genre of different type of white people. You have the rednecks, you have the country people, you have the pop, you have the love, you have the R&B, you have a genre of just different type of actors.
Don't forget about EDM. Don't forget about EDM. That's a big market. In fact, EDM is more like, it's the new pop, in my opinion. Unless you get to one of their EDM itself, EDM, electronic dance music, they call it, is basically at least 100 genres of music. It's like how hip hop has trap, or it might have, you know, what do they call it? Drill music or something like that. There might be 20, 30 genres of hip hop, maybe not even that many. EDM has like 100, has progressive, has soulful house, has bass, you see where I'm going. So basically, anyway, that's the music industry in a nutshell. Susie Bell breaks it down like this. I'm from California, had cousins who lived in Stockton back in the day. Too Short should have been arrested for trafficking little girls. Black men and Blackistan revere these creeps and perverts. Bars.
Okay, of entertainers and artists, but it just seems like with our community and our culture, there's a certain type of culture, subculture, which is the hood culture, the aesthetic ghetto girl culture that is all of a sudden being pushed to the forefront, like it's cool with the long nails and the colorful hair and the long lashes. And we try to embrace that and say, that is our culture, but it's not. It's not all of Black people. And what's happening is that Black people, we come together on certain topics because we can relate to our skin color. But let's be honest here. We are not a monolith, okay?
Bars. Mr. RV breaks it down like this. Just messy. What did any of that have to do with you? And no, okay, that's something else. Here we go.
Black women, we are not a monolith. Somebody like me does not relate to somebody like Sukihana and a Sexy Red. But are there Black women who do represent that and who relate to that? Yes, and I understand that. But
probably about, I don't know, maybe 10% of the Black woman population. They're about 10%. That's about it. That's it. On a good day, maybe 15. That's it. Yes, Susie Bear. How about Sugar Free and DJ Quick? Yep. I had a cousin, disowned, who was well-known dealer in Los Angeles County who had close connections with them. Yep. Pimps are really get grown women to say, yeah, they usually get little, yep, you're right, you nailed it.
They deserve. Let me ask you a question. Do women like that?
Yeah, no, country music is not disrespectful to women at all. Not even. If it was, it's not nearly as close as it can't compare to hip hop. Yeah. I remember back in the day, I think it was Charlie Brown. It's not Charlie Pride. It was I forgot what his name was, but it's a fine time to leave me, Lucille, with 4 hungry children and their crops in the fields. Remember that one? Anybody? Okay. So y'all weren't born then. Okay, here we go.
Deserve a front and center stage to the world as a representation, as a whole for all Black women? Or should we keep that certain part of our community hidden, tucked away, and not represented to the entire world?
Here we go.
I'm being serious. Because what do we want here? Do we want representation? And what kind of representation do we want? How do we want to be represented to the world? Because this here, where these women are making trash music, okay?
No, it's men making trash music and women performing it. That's a very, very, very important. In fact, that's the guy who made it right there. He wrote Pound Town. He wrote it, not her. If they knew a dude could wrote Pound, sooner or later dudes get to write Pound Town. But anyway, you see what I'm saying.
That can influence our younger girls who are very impressionable. Okay, let's be honest here. A lot of parents understand, they get mad and say, hey, my child looks up to you. Because nowadays with social media influence, these stars are more influential.
Yeah, now this is a problem I have. I don't know. No, that's not
to younger children and teenagers than their own parents. Your parents can be doctors, educated, put you in a nice neighborhood and home. And for some reason, there will be a lot of kids who are influenced with what is cool, what is popular.
Yeah, that's right. She's got a very good point. Problem is that there's not much women can do if it's men running that industry. That's the point I'm trying to make. The best you can do is, since, believe it or not, 54% of men support hip hop. Guess who's the other side? 45%. You got to get that way down to at least 25% before you of canceling before you can even see them want to make a change. Because look, dudes like money. And a lot of the dudes who are making money off of this aren't even Black. But if you can show them that you're not in that music anymore, they will drop it like a hot piece of butter and switch up. If everybody said, if you drop the music popularity down, and they don't necessarily even need to see a huge drop at once. It just needs to start trending down to the point where they get worried. Then you can make a change. You can make a change in it. They'll start changing the music up. They'll start testing the market. They'll drop something a little bit nicer, or they'll start dressing Sexy Red up in have her wear whole clothing outfits like these ladies here are wearing, and rap about maybe something a little bit more deeper than just sex, and then see how it goes. And if it goes good, they'll put more out instead of one freak song. It'll be, instead of 10 freak songs being released, it'll be more like 7. And then it'll drop to 5. As long as they're getting money. And then they'll increase like they'll increase the Lauryn Hill content, which is non-existent these days, where it was about something deeper. Then it'll start. And then when that starts happening, since the bar is being raised as far as writing skills and all that, all of a sudden, all the Sexy Reds and all those people you want that you're saying that don't have talent, they'll start to drop off because the benchmark for talent will be raised. Oh wow, she actually needs to know how to rap. Oh, she actually knows how to she needs to stay on key. You see what I'm saying? To the point where you can watch somebody like, you get to the point where somebody even like Nicki Minaj, instead of her being the queen of hip hop, now she's just hanging in there because there's more talented women in hip hop altogether. Then you got to change the music. If you want to make what I would do is focus on building up neo soul and building it into hip hop instead of the other way around. That's what I'm saying. JG Music breaks it down like this. Music destroyed the mind. My sister said, grown man that new edition song, Poison, came out, and she said, is an innocent child with a big butt and a smile, and they said, none of your girls are innocent. Let me see if I can. Wait. Okay, let me read this again. Music destroys the mind. My sister said to grown men that new edition song, Poison, came out, and she said, is an innocent child with a big butt and a smile, and they said, none of you girls are innocent. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's play a little bit more.
What is in, what is trending. They think of the parents as the old and not fun part. Okay. So when a mother is telling her daughter to not dress a certain way or not carry herself a certain way, she's going to be like, you're old, you're not cool, you're not in style, you're not something that I care to be, because none of my friends will be impressed with that. They're going to open up their TikTok app and they're going to see women like Sukihana and Sexy Red and go, that's what I want to be right now. I'm not worried about the future. I'm not worried about being married. I'm not worried about anything right now because I am a ruthless teenager and I have the world ahead of me. They have that type of mindset where they are easily influenced. I can say that because I was raised in a very strict and religious household, but culture influenced me. My friends and peers influenced me. I had friends who were, super religious and safe, and I didn't want to hang around them because it wasn't fun. It wasn't exciting. And we have to admit that it's scientifically known that.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, it's like this. Even if women, you can change the industry, you can, but it will be drastic, and it will take some huge canceling, and not just it'll have to be, what you do is you follow the production chain. Okay. Not only Sukihana, look at the other tracks. These guys are pretty predictable. If they're writing Pound Town tracks for Sukihana and for Sexy Red, they're writing them for other people, male or female. Look them up, find them. Don't support them. Don't listen to the music. Look at their musical history. Find out who the production is. Money will make them change. That's the only thing that's going to make them change. That's what you got to work on. Rico Reed Gaming breaks it down like this. Do you guys remember the female artists like Brandy and Monica dressed back then in their videos? Nothing like this for sure. Yeah, they actually wore whole dresses. And if they wanted to be racy, the dress was a little tight. That was it. Let's bring up old Brandy and Monica. Let me see if I can bring up a picture of them. So remember, this is Mr. Pound Town right here. Let me bring him back. Mr. Pound Town. There you go. That's Mr. Pound Town. That's the person who wrote Pound Town. Okay. Now let's go check out Brandy and Monica. See, I can't play the music because, you know, I will be flashed. But let's see. Images. This is them back of the day. And then in the left corner, this is them today. Still cute, still healthy. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Rika Ree about. That's Brandy and Monica. They got their clothes on. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some more names of other artists, R&B artists that we should be watching. Let's do that. Let's do that for a little while. How about Mary J. Blige? Give me suggestions, folks. Bring them up. We got to bring them up. Bring them up. Mary J. Blige. TLC, good one. TLC. Look at this one. They got, I mean, they covered like a mug. That's true, Tevin. Britney Spears and Britney Spears, Christina, I guess you mean Aguilera, and don't forget Madonna. She was a little bit. She'd throw up a little bit. Let's get a little bit jazzy here. How about what's her name? Damn, who was classic soul. Oh, that didn't help. Oh, that's it. Now, what is her first name? Here we go. Phyllis Hyman right there. Now that was some jam back in the day. That's way back in the day. Okay. I guess that's enough. Well, folks, I'm glad we could do this. I think I'm going to get on out of here, folks. Anyway, I'm going to hit the beat. Here we go. Wait. Here we go.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, either way I follow, no need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all.
All right.
So tell your good night.
The House Freakery Gaming. New Diamond. Mr. Alpine. Darnell Elliott. Susie Bear. 7. Rika Reed Gaming. JG Music.
So tell you goodbye, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem,
Mystic Moon.
'cause I know what I'm getting into.
Hibiscus Depot.
Nothing can stop me. 'Cause I'm addicted
Hustler
to
and Muscular.
you, and I realize lead the way. I follow. No need to say.
Phoenix Soul.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the
Enlightened
edge of it
Family.
all. So tell you goodbye.
Gold Reflection.
'Cause I'll find a better one.
Hey Brown.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you goodbye, 'cause I'll find a better one.
All right, everybody. Remember, listen to the good music, not the bad.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
All right.